All right, third graders, today is Monday, October 26th. We are in chapter number 4, lesson 9, and today we're going to be doing two-step word problems. And you know what? It's going to involve all our math operations: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So the past couple lessons we've been working on multi-steps, and now we're going to be working on two-steps problems. And this is my textbook, so let's think here. Let's read the question. May had 30 meters of ribbon. She cut off 2 pieces of ribbon. The second piece of ribbon is 3 times as long as the first piece. There is still 18 meters of ribbon left on the spool. How long is each piece? So I'm going to move this up, and let's look at the picture. What do we know? We know that the first piece, right, would be 1 unit. And based upon what it said for the second piece said it was 3 times as long as the first. 3 times as long as the first, okay? And then I know the ribbon is 30 meters before I cut it, right here. So that means all the first piece, second piece, and then what's left on the spool is going to equal 30. Okay, so right here, this is what's left on the spool. So after this cut, there's 18 meters left on the spool. So it says, so here we go. It says, how long is each piece? Dion says, I need to find the total length of the 2 pieces first. These 2 right here. Those 2 pieces. So I'm going to stop and let you think about it. Remember, you can always pause during the video and think about this and read the question. So let's take a look here. We know that there were 30 meters on the ribbon, right? And there's 18 meters left on the spool. What can I do with these 2 numbers here? I can subtract. So I can go subtract 30 minus 18 will give me 12. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put this 12 right here, because this represents 1, 2, 3, 4, the 4 units that was cut. Okay, so that's why we have 40 units is 30 minus 18 is equal to 12. And that's why I put that there and I represented it here. Even though you see it here, I want you to think about this problem. So now I know that these first 2 pieces equal 12 meters. Now I need to know what that one first piece cut is. And you know what we're doing? We're doing division. How many pieces do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have 4 units, and I have a total of 12 meters that was cut. So it's going to be 12 divided by 4 is 3. So the first piece is 3 meters long. Now I'm going to push this up. And then it says, now that I know this, now I know this is what? That's 3 meters. Okay. And now I need to find out what the second piece is. So if I take a look at the second piece, I have 1, 2, 3. I have 3 units there. And if you take a look here, 3 units is 3 times 3, which is equals the 9. So the second piece is 9 meters long. So I already know what's left on the spool. My second piece, I'm going to put this little arc here. That means all together, I know that's 9. Okay, I know the first piece is 3. And here we have, Sophia says, check your answer. How are we going to check it? We want to make sure it all equals what? To 30, right? So we got 3 plus 9 plus 18. If we check that, 3 plus 9 is 12 plus 18 more is equal to 30. And that is correct. So when we start to do these two-step word problems, you really got to think about what you're going to try to solve. I am still in my textbook, and we'll see if we can try to solve a few more. So let's go here. It says, May made 3 times as many ants as spiders. She made 12 ants. How many animals did she make? How many more ants than spiders did she make? So let's take a look at her bar model. So between the ants and the spider, it says what? May made 3 times as many ants as spiders. 1, 2, 3. That's 3 times as many as the spiders. And it says she made 12 ants. So if you notice here, we have a total of 12 ants for 3 units. Okay. And then look at these question marks. I need to know this part here, the total here. So how could we do this? So let's take a look at what Emma says. Emma says find the value of 1 unit first and use that for both problems. So here we go. So I know what there is 1, 2, 3. 3 units is equal to 12. Now I need to find out what 1 unit is worth. Well, so 1 unit is going to be 12 divided by 3 is 4. So I know that the spider is going to be worth what? 4. Then it says how many. So if we were going to find the total units, which is this part here, how many units do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have a total of 4 units. So 4 units is going to equal to 4 times 4, which is what? 16. She made 16 animals. Okay, so this answers A. Let's look at B now. It says, how many more ants than spiders did she make? Always remember this word. Okay, so here we go. So what did she do? You know what? We don't even have to do no subtraction here, even though that we think we can. But look, right here, those from that first unit to the third unit, right? That means how many more? So how many units is there? 1, 2. So 2 units equals 2 times 4, which equals 8. So she made a total of what? 8 more ants than spiders. So here would be what? 16, and here would be 8. So if we add these two up, 12 and 4 equals 16. Then if we don't need to look at the total, but we were looking at the bar, this is 12 on top. 4 plus 8 is also 12. Let me move a little further. This is the last one I'm going to do in my textbook before we move to the workbook, okay? So let's pay attention. Here's number 2 in my textbook. Ms. Davis bought 6 skeins of wool yarn for $5 each and a set of knitting needles for $12. How much did she spend? So here we go. It says find the cost of the yarn first. That's what May say. So if we take a look at our bar model, it says what? Miss Davis bought 6 skeins of wool yarn for $5. 6 of them, look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At what? $5. And then a set of knitting needles for $12, and that's where that $12 looks at. So if you look at your bar model, this is what we got. Then it says how much did she spend? So we're looking for the total number of what? The total that she spent. So what do we know? We know that 1 unit is equal to $5. That's where that is, correct? And then if we want to know how many 6 of them cost, so it's 6 units, so this would be 6 times 5, which is going to be what? $30. So I'm going to mark this right here. I know that's 5, okay? So I'm going to put this right here to there. I know that's $30. So now as you start to look at the bar model, okay, so we got 30 and we got 12. What do you think we're going to do here? We're going to add. Remember, the two parts together, we're going to add. So 30 plus 12 is going to be what? 42. So she spent a total of $42. I'm going to stop here and switch to my workbook. All right, third graders, I am now in my student workbook. So we're on exercise 9, chapter 4, on page 119. And remember, we're always going to do the basics on our video lesson. So let's take a look here. It says complete the equations to find the unknown numbers. First and foremost, what is given to us? 44 is given to us, which represents what? This bar, and this bar. These total of 3 bars, right? 44. The first bar is also given to us, which is 8. So we're trying to find out what A is, all right? So what can we actually do with 44 and 8? We can just find the difference. That's the reason why if we here look at A, it says A is 4 units. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need to find the difference, which is 44 minus 8, which gives me what? 36. So I'm working with 36 now. So now I know that these 4 units here equal 36. Now in order for me to find one single unit, I take my total, which is 36, divided by 4, and what do I get? I get 9. So I know A is equal to 9. And then B, look at B. It's coming all the way across. From one end to the other, right? How many units are in B? 1, 2, 3. And look, there's already 3 units there, but I got to divide, not divide, I'm going to multiply by 9. 9 times 3 is going to give me 27. So I know the total of 3 units is going to be 27. I'm going to stop and pause and move to the next problem. All right, we're here on the practice section in our workbook. And remember, you're responsible for the practice part. This is the part that you guys need to take pictures and upload. So let's read the directions. It says label the bar models with the information in the problem and solve the problems. Number 2. Here we go. Peppina and her little sister Camilla found 45 seashells. So both together they found 45 seashells. Then it says Peppina found 4 times as many seashells as Camilla. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hence, 4 times as many as Camilla. Then it says how many more seashells did Peppina find than Camilla? So first thing I need to do is label my bar model. And here, these are going to be with words, okay? So 4 times as many, who does that represent? If you said Peppina, you are correct. And the second one represents what? Camilla. Now, let's take a look at 45. 45 represents what? Both Peppina and her little sister, Camilla. And that's 45. Okay, both of these together, correct? All right, if you said yes, good job. Now, it says, how many more seashells did Peppina find than Camilla? So we're trying to find this part right here. That part. And remember when I tell you guys, this was always going to be what? How many more? Okay, how many more? Oops, let me erase that so you guys can see that better. I'm still waiting on my thinner dry erasers, markers with the fine tip. So we're trying to find that part. But before we begin, let's try to figure out which each one of these units are worth. I have a total, which is 45. And how many units do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to divide that by 5. And that's going to give me 9 units. Excuse me, 9 seashells. Now, let's look at the missing part. Right here, where the question mark, I drew a line. And how many units are there? 1, 2, 3. I have 3 units. What do you think I'm going to do there? I'm going to take 3 units times 9, and that's 27. Now I can answer the question. Pamina found 27 more seashells than Camilla. Period. Okay, that wasn't a difficult one, but you got to really think about it still. Okay, fill in your bar models. All right, put the information correctly, do your math operations, and then come up with the answer statement at the end. So let me go to number 3. Look at here. Number 3, and I'm already just looking at the bar models. I got 3 of them. So let's take a look. Let's read the question. Kona is arranging 28 pictures onto 3 pages in an album. The first page has 5 pictures. The second page has 3 times as many pictures as the first. Okay, and then it says how many pictures are on the third page. Whoa, so let's take a look here. So I know that the first information was given to us was what? 28 pictures on 3 pages. Okay, here's the first page, here's the second page, and here's the third. 1, 2, 3, and I know that all 3 of these pages equal how many pictures? 28. It also says that the first page has what? 5. And that's where I'm putting my 5. So always look at your information now. And then it says how many pictures are on the third page. So we're trying to find, oops, that's not a good question mark. So we're trying to find what the third page has. But before we do that, what could we do? Stop and pause. Okay, welcome back. So I know that there's a total of 28 pages, correct? And I also know that there are how many units? 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 units. So what could I do here? I could say, I know that each unit is 5. I can say 4 times 5 is going to give me what? 20. So all these units here, 1, 2, 3, 4, they equal 20 pictures. So if I know that these 4 units equal 20 pictures, and I know I have a total of 28 pictures, how can I find the third? And notice, look at the third. The third, okay, here does not exactly match up to a unit. So what could I do? If you said I can find the difference, that is correct. So 1, 2, 3, 4 is a total of 20 pictures, correct? So I'm going to take the total number of pictures, which is 28, subtract that from 20 pictures, and that gives me what? 8. And remember that 2 minus 2 is 0, but we don't say 0, 8. We say 8. So I know this is 8 pictures. The third page has 8 pictures. Okay, I did the first 2 practice problem with you guys to help you guys out. And this concludes our lesson for today. Tomorrow we'll be practicing for our test on Wednesday. Goodbye.